Blackwoods country. This is the first test map I ever created. Well, it's not even, I didn't make the map. No. After I made Lotus, I wanted to understand pathways better. So I came and built this little town and did all kinds of strange things to it to see what advantages could I create to make them use the pathways more than they do. That's, yeah. I also, later on, came across a post or several posts in the forum that stated that water was a death sentence. Like if you get polluted water, it was a death sentence. So I came back here to see these guys. You know what they're doing, right? If you saw the first one, I know it's long and drawn out. That was in 2069. It's 2074 now. But in 2069, I put these pipes in. You really can't tell, but this is all segregated. It's got the output there, so that's the water, that's the output. And if you look here, this water stops right in the middle of the road. I made sure that the only place I was going to pollute was this area, right? So I started polluting the neighborhood, this whole section of town, right? How big is that? Is it 10%? Could be 10%. Who knows? Lots of, look at that. Yeah, we'll talk about that too, actually. So yeah, I started polluting the water because I wanted to show that it's not a death sentence to your city. The reason it attacks people's cities the way it does is because, oh look, there's somebody going to, okay, that's a patient, or walking to be a patient, actually. The reason it's so devastating is because it overpowers something. Either it overpowers your medical system, or, well, you know what I want to say next, right? It overpowers your roads. Like if your traffic is just barely working and you get water poisoning in your city, oh yeah, you're going to get, people are going to die. Now let me see if I can get some people to walk down this pathway, because this pathway is special. Because when people play City Skylines, they think about, what do they think? What is their opinion of the hospitals? The hospitals have no purpose, right? Because on average, we build our industries away. I mean, we got the purple color there to let us know that we should not be building close to that, right? So it's not hard for us to keep in mind to keep industry out of the way. The only type of pollution we really don't seem to, or we can't control. How about you? Where are you going? Another patient. You can tell because they're going to the hospital. They're going to visit the hospital, so yeah, they're going for a patient. Is sound pollution. Sound pollution, once your traffic, like if you get heavy traffic or ambulances like you're hearing in the background, it's going to make everything noisy, and well, that's going to make them sick too. But for the most part, people claim that hospitals are pretty much, they don't do anything, right? They just sit there. Well, that one's got 21. Again, did I show you this part? I am polluting them, and they're not liking it. They're using, they got 20 beds being used. No ambulances. No ambulance. This one's got 3 ambulances. Oh. And they're just about full. Again, I am polluting this whole area. How about here? 1 bed. But for the most part, this is what people see, right? No ambulance being reused, no patients. It's because it seems like these guys are taking care of this. Like, I find it very interesting that they don't want to get involved with this. I think the reason that is because I put a pathway here. Right? Not only will they use the hospital and use clinics and fill them, but they'll walk there. Well, Sophie's walking to work. She works at the right hospital. Let me speed this up so we can get more people walking through here. There we go. No. Oh yeah. Going to the hospital. Going to the hospital. Oh, a specialist at the clinic. Going to the hospital. Oh, that's cute. Who is, yeah, red. They're sick. They're about as sick as the house here. Can I get a purple? Purple are employees. So that's a medical... Where did they work again? At the left side medical clinic. Left side medical clinic. Is that? Yeah. An employee of there is going to the hospital for treatment. Okay, this I gotta keep. Alright. Okay, so we're poisoning these people. Someone said, or several people have told me, that this was an unfair experiment, right? That what you're not showing are all the hearse that are going by and all the people that are dying in here, because water pollution is a death sentence, and they're very adamant about that. Well, I don't see any more hearse than usual. The fact that they're walking to the hospital to be treated means to me that these things, these assets, work just properly once the conditions have arisen. What I want to do is poison the whole thing and see how I can deal with that. I mean, I've got 3 hospitals. I know I'm going to have to put a 4th. And where you put them is important. But I'm gonna poison this town and show you what that looks like. But before we go there, I want to take care of a few little myths. Okay, so I started this in 2069, and it is 2074. So let's go to the stats. Let's go to stats, and we're at population. This waving population here is because of, well, you saw the abandonment in the forestry or in the farmland. Let's go back there. This here, that's causing the population to go up and go down and go up and go down. The reason that is happening is because jobs are being partly filled, right? So let's say half the population, jobs are getting partly filled, so some people have jobs and they live in the city. Well, because the factory cannot get 50% full or whatever it needs to continue onto production, it throws up the icon saying we need workers, and then goes abandoned, right? When it does that, all those people that had jobs automatically lose their job, right? And a lot of them will leave the town. I don't know if they leave the town temporarily waiting for their job to come back, or they just simply leave the town. But the hump, what you see there is people moving and people having jobs, and then people losing their jobs because the factories or the industry had to shut down. So if you see this going on and you have that call for more workers, well, I'm going to show you. I'm going to supply. Yeah, not only am I going to pollute the whole city or town, but I'm going to raise the population to, maybe, I think, is it 13,000? Yeah, to control this, and this will all even out. Okay, that's where I wanted to go with that. What I wanted to go with the rest of this, we'll shut that off, is births, no, deaths. No, I want births to be on top. There we go. Now, it says 2069, so 2065 is there. 2069, so this could, well, that's the record low death, but this could be when I started poisoning the water, right? This is definitely within the time I was poisoning the water, or is it? Because that's 2071, so that could be 2069. If that's 2065, 66, 67, 68, 69, so 2069 would be in there. So this is when I started poisoning the water. That looks like a spike, but it also looks like a birth spike. So that tells me there's no extra deaths because ever since, deaths have been declining. Right? I haven't stopped poisoning the water. I think that's because of that. Geez, you don't even get icons here of that they're sick by water. The only thing that you do get is people walking back and forth to the hospital eventually. If I can ever click on them. Going to the pharmacy, that's actually an inpatient. The land value. Oh, there's something else I wanted to show you. Before we go, and I can see now this is going to go into another clip. This was the output, or this is the output of this. I'm going to change this configuration after a while when I go into the town. I'm going to stop using this and use it somewhere else because I'm polluting the town. I don't have to segregate the output. See this? The land's being polluted. Water pollution turns into land pollution at the shore. So you have to, if you had a community of houses sitting here, they would be land polluted. I wonder if I can show you that in the next clip. Because I've got two versions of the city. Just one next is I poisoned the city. And the next one is how the city grows after I've poisoned it. Okay, so I've showed you the stats I wanted to. Alrighty, let's see how this pans out.